Hey, dummies. How are you? Hopefully well. Hopefully well. I wanted to start off this week with something that touched on what made me a dummy, right? I listen to a lot of comedians, and a lot of people call them the modern day philosophers, and I think that's fucking dumb. But one of them had said, Ari Shafir, as you know, well respected, loved by many. Look up a lot of his work. A lot of people just love him. But he had said, look at you. You spent so much time in the attic, now you can't come down. That's it. That's all. Look at you. Spent so much time making your house up here, now you can't come down with the rest of us. Yeah? Beautiful. Man, it was just a nice quote. Made me think about my life. Trying to come down here with you fucks. How's it going, dummies? I've been thinking too about Dummydom. Dare I say, Dummydom. And as I think about Dummydom, which is just getting better by the minute, I think, what makes us a dummy? You know? With the mask, we're all the same. The mask is salvation. You wear the mask and you say things, and you know who said it? A dummy. A dummy somewhere said it. Right? That's what you're saying. You put on the mask and you go, I'm an idiot. And then, go forth. If anyone else wants to step into the idiot arena, if anyone else wants to come be a dummy, come challenge me. But understand, if you're arguing with a dummy, you're just a dummy. Huh? Now, there are two key tenets of Dummydom. You understand? One, being joy. However that is. There's a few different ways to give joy, truly, I think. But it always requires a joyous battery almost. You understand? You can't go around just giving joy if you have no joy yourself. Walking around joyless? Joyless? Broken and joyless? How can you give your joy if you have none? We've all seen it. You have some days where I would buy a homeless man a car if I felt inclined to, you know? And there's some days where you have $5 in your pocket and there's a guy genuinely needing $5, you know, like needing it at the gas pump or whatever, and you go, I'll probably need this $5 later. And you walk on out. Why? No joy. Your joy reserves are low. Make sure you keep that joy high. A few different ways. I, personally as a dummy, really enjoy some, fucking around, laughing with my buddies. You get a few good laughs with some people going. To me, that's top tier Dummydom. That's top tier. When I get together with some dummies and it gets a little dumb, it's the best, right? It is the best. Laughing it does repair the soul. It makes it feel better. You know, it's like a hug for your insides. And I think when used correctly, whether it be joy from personal acts, whether it be joy from laughing and joking, whether it be joy from a game that you're hosting, whether it be joy from you having a party and people coming and giving that joy, I think is one of the highest purposes. At least a dummy can serve. Dare I say a person, but at least a dummy can serve. Now the other tenet is hard. It's hard. It's stressful. It is sometimes the counterpart to joy, truly. That's no one's fault. Truth, right? The truth is unwavering. The truth, there's always a truth out there. No one will ever decide what the truth is, right? And here's the thing, dummies. Don't let anyone know, but you got some lies in your truths. I know. Stop. Listen. I know. You spent all this time. You go your whole life. You take this truth and you go, this is mine. This is my truth. And this is mine. Now, you can't take that away from me. This is true. No matter what. Right? And you get all your truths together. And you keep them close. And you keep them quiet sometimes even because you don't want somebody to come at your truths. You don't want somebody to go, stop. That's my truth. Don't fucking take that away from me. How dare you? So you take your truths and you put them all into one little pile. And the problem is, sometimes you get truths before you were a dummy. From when you were real young. When you were without a good judge in your head. You're just getting these truths together and they compile, and all of a sudden you're 30 and you got a truth from when you're 7. You could probably start looking at that one, re-examining, But it's hard. It's hard to understand what truths you hold dear because sometimes those are the blocks on which we stand. There's the things that keep us from wavering as we fall back on a truth and we go, well, that helped me. I'll never let that shit ever go, But sometimes the truth is hard. The other part of this is that when you're talking about something and you know something, you need to remember that you always have a lie. Always. No matter what you know, no matter if somebody just told you, no matter if you just looked it up, you have a lie. You can't be right all the time, right? I know some people go, I don't have a lie. You don't have a lie? Never wrong? Not once? Not once? Because even that once means that no matter what it is, you have a lie. Now, there's some people that we go, they have at least very few lies, or they have very good lies. And we're down with some good lies, right? If you can defend your lies, let them fly. I'm down with some good lies, all right? It makes other people smarter. Once we start getting past good lies, oh man, what could hold us back, But we call those people experts. You find an expert, and he's like, phew. Well, here's a truth or maybe a good lie, who knows? But I'm closer to it than all of you, right? So, these men that we call experts in things have truths, and so what I propose to the dummies is work towards something, work towards being great at something. I think that you can find truth in there and spread truth through that. You can have an outlet of truth, You can have a thing where you go, well, I myself know that I am a dummy, except in this I'm a professional carpenter. Yes, I am actually historian on Greece, which is useless. But you got the truth, baby. You're closer to the truth. The truth, though, is in everyday life. The truth and the lies are in everyday life. You see somebody and you think, well, that can't be, they're liars. They're bad. You give them the benefit of the doubt because there's a lie somewhere, just in case. I had been needing some time this week. Look at it. I was sad. I was a sad little dummy. I was a little sad dummy. Could you believe it? I hated it. I was pissed. So, I did what any good dummy would do, write this down, and I fled the area. Right? We dummy are prey animals. Just so you know. The other third tenet is being a prey animal and running from any No, I'm just kidding. But I had to get the fuck out. I had to go. I had to do something. Alright? I had to. So I went and saw my buddy. My buddy Also, I call him a buddy, but he's also a dummy, you know. But there's just not a hybrid name. It's too much ease. It's not a buddy, a dumby, you know. It doesn't, you know. But he's both of those, and he was showing me the new Batman with Robert Pattinson, which he makes it look like Bruce Wayne listens to My Chemical Romance. Great Batman. But he makes Bruce Wayne look like he listens to Black Dahlia Murder. Like he's like, oh, like he's like 30, but he's also like, my parents. And it's like, well, you were 5. You have millions of dollars. Like, haven't you developed a coke habit or something to just get through this by now? Whatever. And so you're watching it, and Batman on cocaine, which what an untapped resource, right? Just Batman just fucking like, Joker, I see you. And he's just like beating up street performing clowns. He's like, get those rags out of your throat. He's like, just taking out rags and stuff, you know? He's just like Batman on cocaine, just driving through downtown, swerving his fucking car into all the fucking side cars. Get out of my way, I'm Batman. It's just, I'm late for a date, you know? It's probably the best. But in the movie, there's a man. And once again, okay, we're going to get into something that I knew was going to happen. And I'm not happy with it, but God, I'll tell you what I think. It might be a lie, let you know. But I'll tell you what I think one of my truths are, is that somebody will always come do what you're doing, right? There'll always be somebody riding a wave trying to, you know, there's always that, whether it be getting close to a person or whether it be trying to imitate, let's say, right? And in the Batman, and sure, it's been more than 6 months in production than as opposed to my podcast. But that doesn't excuse the fact. So this guy, so he's a fucking you look at him and you like, probable Jew, and you know, like you're like, okay, he at least he's either malnourished or he goes to an all boys school and has to wear certain outfits. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those like he looked the Riddler in this one looked like he could wear jeans all the time, right? And, like he like religiously could only wear jeans or else he'd go to hell. And so he's in there and basically he has a mask and he's just like live streams him like making hamsters eat dudes' faces and shit and being like, I'm tickling their toes, Batman. Ooh, I have the mayor, Batman. Look at him giggle. That is the masculinity running out of him, Batman. Give me, I don't know, the Riddlers. I don't know, the Riddler. I tickle his toes and the money comes out his nose. I don't. The gag's over. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, he basically has he holds the camera up. He's got the mask on and shit. He's doing evil stuff. And I'm like, this is my stuff. This is my fucking thing. What the fuck? I was pissed. But it is what it is. And he kept being like, this is you. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. How dare you call me this this little brat. Like, he couldn't even actually fight Batman. He just kept doing like, and he kept just, it literally was like, we talked about this before, and like there's another like podcast thing that covers this or whatever, like they talk about it, but like it's basically a genre of movie where they're like, autistic people can even be evil. It's like, well, okay, sure, I guess. And so he basically like confronts Batman. They arrest him and he's sitting in a cell, and like Batman comes in, he's like, you didn't play by my games. I gave you rules and you didn't play by them. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you anymore because you don't play fair. No, Batman. No. It was very weird. Overall, fun movie. Just like because you can just make shit out of it. The acting's actually pretty goddamn good too if you like good acting. But it was very funny to just kind of like watch and like almost laugh at. He also had a bunch of other like Riddler types that would wear his mask and like sit around the city and like do his bidding. And I'm like, bro, if they start transferring Bitcoin to his account, I'm gonna call the fucking producer. I'll fucking who, I don't know who did it. I didn't watch a lot of it. But I'll fucking send a strongly worded letter to whatever publishing company they have. You understand? This is they're taking my IP, okay? My intellectual property. Not only that, all right? Not only that, let's take a real look at the issues. Okay? God damn. One, my masks aren't well made. Two, there's a fucking piece of shit. All right? Now, listen. I'm a certain type of piece of shit. Right? I'm the type of guy that I'll watch videos of people that I believe the subreddit's called Took Too Much, but they just take too many drugs. They're out in public. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know. Part of me feels like a sick fuck sometimes, you know? But I also understand the same feeling that they're feeling and can pretty accurately empathize with them. Now, I'm not saying that allows me to get a little pass on this, but it kind of explains the connection with it, you know? Lately, though, on these forums of people that take a bunch of drugs, which, I mean, and sometimes it's fun, too, because you find a little account of somebody that's, like, been smoking crack for, like, 4 years or whatever, and they start to tell you their truths, and you're like, holy shit. And you just think to yourself, you start to see the truths you can gather if you live a real fun life, you know? If you just crank the joy to the max, you know? If you just take joy and you suck its face down and then punch it in the gut and then consume the rest of its body in a single bite and then never focus on truth, you can just be like, you guys want to hear about what the senator did to me? And it's like, man, we cannot have this. Oh, that's a fun little story. I don't think I've ever told that one. There was okay, we'll come back to little scum. A little foreshadowing. There was a substitute teacher that would come to my school. And this lady was damn near batshit. Okay? And how do you explain it? She would just start saying stuff. Like, she's like, listen, I've written books. And we're like, oh yeah? Everyone called her the tights lady because she was approximately 65, if not older. She was getting AARP, and she wears the tightest tight. Like, this, she could be dead now. If this wasn't that long ago, and she could be dead now if she was that old. And I swear to God, she's got bright pink lipstick on, bright blue, like, eyeshadow, platinum blonde hair that's obviously dyed, tights that are tighter than anything I've ever seen. I've seen rubber bands triple banded around shit less tight than this. You understand? And she's in here explaining how she's written books. So you're like, on what, ma'am? You look like the fashion police's most wanted. What could you have written a book about? She's like, well, the governor has conspired against me. I'm like, She's like, in the House of Representatives as well. I'm like, oh, okay, continue. And so she starts explaining how she wrote a book. She was like, I'm trying to get this shit published. No one wants to publish it because of the government. And I'm like, you batshit crazy bitch. So, like, she just starts going on. It turns out it's a guy in the class's uncle. And so at one point he had been like, bitch, you better shut what the fuck are you talking about? Shut your fucking mouth. Talking shit about, she's like, they're all fucking thieves and liars. And she probably threw a pedophile in there, I'm sure. Adults love to do that to kids. Adults love to throw a little pedophile in whenever you're just under 18, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where, like, they think they're like, listen, these guys are getting you guys. And, like, I'm like, I wish I could fuck a 30-year-old. Good God. Please. Like, half the girls, I went to freshman year, as they call it, swirl. It's like the Sadie Hawkins type shit where you, like, the girl asks you. I went to swirl my freshman year with this chick who's, God bless her soul, very nice. I see her every now and then. She's doing a lot better than she used to a lot. And she basically, like, the whole time we were at this dance is talking about how she, like, she's probably no older than 15. And she's talking about how the weekend or the month before, she stayed the night in a hotel room with the teacher from the last school she transferred from and snorted drugs and smoked marijuana. I was like, you know? But you think these people aren't ready for pedophiles? If a pedophile walked in this classroom, bitches would start raising their hands. High school's crazy, okay? Talk to your daughters. Please? Please? Good God. And so, yeah, that lady eventually had to leave. I don't think she was allowed to come back because they're like, so what happened again? And like, she started talking about the government and like how they're all watching her. Oh, that's what it was. She's like, oh yeah, if they're not watching me, then when I'm at the mall, do the cameras all face me? It's like, oh ma'am, oh honey. You get some good subs though. Some substitute teachers, and Lord bless her soul. I mean, this bitch is nuts, right? In the same way, though, there's another chick. And this lady was, I swear to God, grade A batshit. Guano. Batshit. Crazy, right? And so we're in here, we're talking in fucking, it's band, that's right. And so we're hanging out. And so one lady starts getting a little too preachy, alright? And I'm going to tell you one thing about band kids. You think these fucks play the saxophone and get bullied every day because they don't think for themselves? Huh? You think I carry around a French fucking horn because I give a fuck what anyone thinks? You think I want to be a part of a group? You jack off? I would never want to be a part of a group. First off. Just kidding, dummies, I love you. But this lady, especially whenever you're fucking 16 playing the French horn, you're just like quit church, right? And this bitch is talking up here and she's like, well, parents can go temporarily insane. You should be thanking your parents every day. No, I'm like, for what? It's like, well, that they took care of you. I'm like, it's their goddamn job. What are you talking about, lady? A bunch of motherfuckers with parents don't take care of them. They're just doing as much band shit as possible. And this lady's talking all this shit. And she's like, well, you know, parents have a very hard time. Like, okay, yeah, I guess. But, like, y'all had the child. She's like, oh, yeah? Well, when I first had my baby. And she starts tearing up. I'm like, what's going on here? She's like, he was yelling. And like, now at this point, everyone's quiet. People looking around being like, should we tape this? What is she gonna say? She starts crying, being like, when I had my baby. It's like, is he alive? Somebody check on this man's. Is he 24 right now? Or should I have called the police? Which, in hindsight, probably is. But she starts going on, she goes, he just was in the crib, and my husband's at work all day. And you just don't know how to control you don't know what to do. You're a brand new mother, and he won't stop crying. And I'm like, calm down. Casey, Anthony, get this bitch. We are 16. Don't encourage these kids to kill their children. We have a daycare in the school, the floor below us. And this lady's just talking about... And then she starts going into... Well, and so I picked him up and I started squeezing, and I almost hurt it, and I didn't know what to do, so I called. I think she said she called her husband or she called the police or something, and then like had the husband come and like take the baby, and she had to like go to a mental hospital or some shit, and like or go to a motel for a few days and like go away, which probably was a 72-hour detention center. And she's like she's like halfway crying the whole time. And she's like, and I just thank the Lord every day. I'm like, you're a Christian? You're about to perform the latest term abortion? And you're about to tell me about God's grace? You almost choked out a baby? And you're going to quote the Bible? That's crazy, dude. That's fire, man. Yo, imagine John Wayne Gacy just confessing, like, bodies being dragged from under his, like, cellar, and he's just watching, just being like, y'all ever read Revelation? Shut up! Like, what the fuck are you talking about, lady? Yeah, we were like the next time the teacher came, we were like, hey, anything but that bitch. I don't care if you, I think Ebola was, if you got Ebola, I don't care if you got a don't come to school today text. Don't ever leave us with that bitch again. She's not talking about killing babies. Fuck you think this bitch gonna do to us? To us. Talking about infanticide? What's this hoe gonna do to us? My God. Just like, and that bitch was in charge. That bitch was like, alright now everyone work on your worksheets. It's like, no, ho. What the fuck are you talking about? You crazy bitch. Now, I better look cool because I'm going to address an imposter. I frequent forums where people are on drugs. Okay? Similar to like r/public freakout on Reddit, but it's the took too much, right? It's all about people just fucked up in public, okay? It's a guilty pleasure, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not a thing I love, okay? Well, it's something I don't know. It dissociates me enough, right? Watching somebody who has a worse life than me just makes me feel good enough to continue on, I think. And as I watch these things, I see a man become more and more prevalent. He's got voiceovers and things in a lot of his videos, but he pretends he's the one filming. So, in these videos, instead of mixing the audio, which would be simple, it'd be simple almost for him to keep the audio in the last one and lower it when he talks to make it sound like, or lower his voice or something, like fade in and out to make it sound like he's in the video. It would be easier, but instead he just talks in a mic like this, overlays the video of like people like doing crazy shit, just like, and one was a like, there's just a guy. It's just a guy, some sort of, he's an Asian man, and he's basically sitting there with like his hands in his pants with like no shirt on, and like he's going like this, and he looks like he's tweaking a little bit, right? And it's just him being like, "What's the matter? What you on, bud? What you looking for, bud? You gotta get out of here. You smoking meth out the bird feeder. Smoking meth out the bird feeder." And that's his whole shtick. So he has all these videos of people just like doing hard drugs and like him voicing over, pretending he's there, but he's not there. He's pretending he's a cameraman. And then, dummies, I feel like that lady who almost killed her baby. I feel like I'm about to kill a baby. Just kidding. That's fucking crazy. That is crazy, dude. Lock her up. We were talking about that for years, bro. Oh my God, that's like as bad as the teacher who said something about bombing the school, like as a like a joke. But so this motherfucker, I find on his, like, he's got like 3 channels on Reddit, like 3 profiles on Reddit, all that try to promote his shit, and he has one that he posts on that's like just him, it seems like, and it's fucking him in it's a long pullover stocking cap that he cut eye holes out of, and he holds up a bone and he goes, "You see that? Lil Scum took some meth and ate the neighbor's cat." Ate the neighbor's cat? Yeah, check episode 30, What If and Camp Wanna Suck Me. Look that up. Don't Google Wanna Suck Me. I spelled it weird. Google Youngin, What If. Youngin 30. You piece of... disgusting. I say 2 weeks ago, in a ski mask, I go, eat the neighbor's cat, and this guy has the fucking audacity Well, I didn't say eat the neighbor's cat. I said kill the neighbor's cat because it might make you happy. What if you're happy? Everyone's so fucking sad. Shooting up schools, all this bullshit. Kill a cat. For the love of fuck. There's so many. I almost hit like 3 a day. On accident. 2 on purpose. But, you know, what if it makes you happy? My bad, okay? People on antidepressants that are giving them brain damage, kill a cat. Take a life. God. And this piece of shit takes my idea, and he doesn't even do it, you know? He doesn't even actually cook and eat the cat. It's obviously a chicken bone. What cat bone would have that much meat on it? It doesn't even make sense. It was frustrating to say the least. And then you look at all his other videos, though. But seriously, okay, because that is jokes. I'm not mad that he's blatantly copying me. But you look at all his other videos, and he's like, Lil Scum smokes OD perk 30s and ODs into pile of beer cans. And, like, it'll be like, what did he say? It's like if somebody who had never done drugs, or it's kind of like if cops were like, all right, time to get them. Like one video was titled Lil Scum goes to OD Wonderland, and he's just like convulsing on the floor, and they said it was from smoking, I think, some sort of cleaning apparatus, like bleach or something. And just like, okay, what did that, hey bud, and just like some shit like on burnt foil. Like, it looks like they were pretending to freebase something if they weren't actually. But what are you doing? You know? You're voicing over people's like fucked up videos on the internet to try to get famous? Is that what you want? Could you imagine? Alright, guys. Rob Dyrdek's newest show. It's coming out. It's called I shouldn't even be saying his fucking name, but fuck him. But it's called Lil Scum's kill yourselfness, addictiveness, and then it's just like Rob Dyrdek's ridiculousness, but it's just sad videos of people on drugs getting their kids taken away while he's like, hey, what you doing there? Oh, hey, Mr. Policeman, where are you taking the 5-year-old? Where are you taking the 5-year-old? That's all his videos are just him being like, oh, is somebody on drugs again? Like, he's just talking like that. It's just fucking the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Once again, like, I mean, like, if you Google him, you'll see him, but he's not worth the clout even. It's just a shitty voiceover of videos. Like, he tried to hire a PR team for probably like $200 that like helped him out for like 2 months. Just leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you see. It's also a sincere example of selling your pride. You start. It takes a lot to make a video. I'll let you know something. Even this is not fucking easy. It takes a lot of time. Unfortunately. Okay? And I wish it wasn't so bad, but it does take a lot of time. And when you're doing that and you're watching a person snort a line of cocaine that's 16, and then you plug in a microphone and you record yourself saying, hey, what's the matter, buddy? Oh, shouldn't you be in schoolio? Oh, you look like a preschooler doing drugs. You're like meth head Robin Williams, okay? You're like meth head Robin Williams. And it's just you should, at some point you should go, am I a bad person? But you won't. That's fine. It is what it is. I know somebody's gonna be like, it's skits, bro. It's not a big deal, but it's just fucking goofy. if I'm honest. I hate to put that on somebody, you know? I hate to look at somebody and be like, what a goofy. But what a fucking goofy, you know? Don't be that. This week I was reminded of some things. I appreciate the biblical stories sometimes. Although they are just retellings of the Buddha stories, I appreciate an old myth, let's say. An old folklore, at the least. And I was reminded of one. Jeremiah. Jeremiah preached for 40 years on deaf ears. And he'd be like, God, I'm going to quit. He'd start praying to God. He'd sound like that lady who's going to kill a baby. He'd be like, God, they are mean to me again today. And then God's going to be like, Jeremiah, you're being gay. And you know what I think about that. And Jeremiah's like, okay. You know, poor Jeremiah. And but yeah, basically he was just like, he would always be like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And God's like, your job is to preach the truth. It feels like a cop-out, especially when you're young and you're looking for holes in religion. You're like, this just doesn't feel right. It feels like they're just saying, well, no, it seems like it won't pay off, but just do what we tell you. It'll be fine. But you start to see, though, that's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle of Dummydom. How I was talking about earlier, like being an expert in something. Those are the guys that are like, you know what's important in this world? Locking dams. And I'm going to become an expert on water's physics to make the locking dams better. I'm going to understand everything chemically about the metal that these locks and dams are made out of. I'm going to get a team of engineers to make these better. And then those are the people that'll be interviewed on BBC or a local news station or whatever. And they'll be like, so what can we do to help the environment? And they're like, our lock and dam systems are terrible. We should be blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, okay, thank you. We'll get right on that. You know, it's not just the lock and dams. It's everything. It's pollution's another big one. People will just spend all their fucking life making the perfect formula to clean water, to make the coral go back to its regular color, you know? And you're sitting there one day eating popcorn on the fucking couch and somebody's like, hey, the coral's bleach white. And you're like, so, what do you want from me? Is it toothpaste? What did it? I don't know. And they're like, plastics. You're like, okay, I guess. What do you want from me? And those are the people that they get interviewed on there, and they're like, please donate money, please come and pick up and don't pollute and all these things. And yeah, 50-50 on whether or not you're even interested or remember that you even watch that shit, you know? Sometimes in Jeremiah, to be fair, he wasn't being very, to be like, why don't people get what I'm saying? You know, he just needed a dummy. It's too bad. It is too bad. You think about all the people in life that could have used a fucking dummy. All the people in life that if they just had a dummy somewhere just to pop a mask on their head, they'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm a dummy. You're like, you're a dummy. It'd all just be better, you know? I just started saying stuff like that, and then like I just like look at my notes and I go, the mask is the cure. Oh, and then you got some fun stuff, right? Like we talk about this stuff, we talk about the world, the universe, my past experiences, and then sometimes I just be sitting around and I find a little nugget of gold in my brain, and I go, oh, it's beautiful. Man, I was thinking about Jeremiah. And I was like, the Middle East is so old. They ain't even invent West yet. They're like, I'm going the other way. And like, oh shit, you going that way? Like, yeah, like, damn, nobody goes that way. Like, well, fuck. Like, we're left east. And like, well, they're right east. Like, well, I'm going to the left. Fuck, man. If you're the left east, are you the middle east? Shit. God damn. All right. Well, I'll see your ass in the left east then, boy. Have a good one. That's and you can get that. That's for free, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's for anyone. Anyone can get that. You know? This unstifled genius is hard to come by. I know. Fucking A. I got very sick the other day. I think I might have talked about this. But I got super fucking sick. And for a minute, I was not sure if I was going to make it, dummies. And if I don't, I expect you all to put on masks. And I'm just posting the password and the username. And you guys all just get to upload your own dummy video. Okay? Make sure you keep it a different number. Because, you don't want to fuck up the YouTube searches. We want to keep making money. So yeah, just kind of everyone call a number. You guys can just move on up to 2,000. I'm sure that by that time I die, it'll be at least that many. And you guys can all just put up your own dummy episodes and tell the world the next step for the dummies, the Dummydom. God, that's such a good one. That's the title for sure. And so when I was sick, I called my mother, and she was very nice, and she wanted to help me out, and she brought me some soup. And I was very grateful. I could not have really gone anywhere, and I was not doing the best. So I was very appreciative. But more than the soup, I wanted to talk to my mom, And I gave her a hug, and we talked for a bit. We talked, and then I gave her another hug, and she's like, all right, I'll see you later. And I was like, all right, I'll see you later. And I just gave her one more hug. Just, you never know when's the last time you're going to see somebody. And I don't want her to ever, I love her. We've had a weird past, but I love her, and I want her to know I care. And so some time passes. It wasn't the most fulfilling interaction, but I did my part, and that's what I can do. And she calls me up about 3 days later. And she just says, dummy. And I said, yes, Mama Dumb. And she's like, I wanted to talk to you. And I have something I want to say that I probably should have said a while ago. I was like, holy, I smell progress. That sounds progressive, So I'm like, all right, let her rip. So she's like, okay. When a woman sees a clean house, there is nothing that will turn her on more. And so the tears in my eyes that have been welling up now go away, and I just have a fierce grin on, like the Joker directly after getting dipped in his laughing gas. And I'm also emotionally distraught, so it's very funny that this could be the last advice I ever get. You know what I'm saying? I think about the end a lot, so it's just funny. Well, her last words to me were, and so she goes, dummy, your aunt the other day came home, and your uncle had cleaned the kitchen, and she said, I did him right there. And I was like, it was like getting like a shitty gift, and you're like, well, no one else got me a gift, so thank you for caring, and I appreciate that, but what the fuck? I'm doomed. You think, fuck. I think we're at the point where it's the thought that counts. Oh, fucking A, man. It was just, God damn it. It was so Fuck. I get my back scratched in all the wrong places, you know? Like, god damn it. At least somebody cares enough to try, and that's what matters, truly. But, god damn. There was a lot of fun stuff that happened recently, too. We talked, just active shooters and things. The policemen just wanting to be heroes when there's nothing going on, and then as soon as there's a problem, not doing something. Thin blue line. And not all policemen are bad, but that was the single most cowardly thing that has happened in America in quite some time. And if anyone ever talks about the pussification of men ever again without talking about the police officers just standing outside of the fucking school, good God. Like, let a guy have blue hair, you know? They're like, oh, he has anxiety. It's like these guys had a job that they signed up for to get called heroes every time, and then fucking nothing. Nothing. And it's weird, too, because, like, it does hit close to home. And here's the thing, too. It hits close to home for a few reasons. Because I went to school where one of the kids got fucking tasered in a fight. Like, he wouldn't stop fighting, they couldn't control him, they fucking tased him. I was like, oh, shit. If they're tasing him, they're not stopping. I mean, they did stop at him, but maybe they won't. After that liaison had left, there ended up being another liaison there that had pink fuzzy handcuffs. I swear to God, I think it's a false memory every time, but I swear to God she did. Other people talk about this. She had pink fuzzy handcuffs, and she had to put them on a kid once to like take him somewhere. But then she was found dating the principal after. So they definitely fucked with the handcuffs, which is just, why are you wearing them around children? You should all be arrested for just being that weird. But everyone in my school was fucking. As it comes out, everyone, all the teachers, everything, the administration, everyone was fucking all the time. Apparently, that's like their thing. Just a big old fuck fest. But there's a few places like that where the teachers were a little closer than you would have thought they were supposed to be. And also in the same environment, you have people where you don't feel like they're going to care for you. Like the cops. A lot of the teachers, it didn't feel like they cared. Some of them did a lot. Some of them were very nice and very kind. But some of them, a lot of them didn't like me particularly. And that's not their fault. A lot of people don't like me, obviously. But it's my sister, actually. I think I might have talked about this on the podcast before too, but my sister had a teacher that during a code red drill, which means there's possibly an active shooter, there's a unsafe concern in the building, the teacher said, "I'm not dying for you guys," and locked herself in her closet in the in her office. Like, locked her office and locked herself in the closet. And then the other teacher was like, what the fuck? And then they went downstairs. Obviously nobody died, which is very funny because you can only pull that once, right? I mean, she had her job, no one cared afterwards. But I remember my sister being like, that bitch would have let us die. Like, there's people cursing her out afterwards, being like, you cowardly bitch. Like, to a person, to a woman who deserves it wholly. But Jesus Christ. And it's just an unlearnable environment when you're not sure if somebody's going to shoot up the school, but you also don't feel like nobody would protect you. I remember sitting on the third floor and just thinking to myself, could I jump to a tree, grab it, and get down? It would be hard, but I could probably do it. I was a pretty strong kid. I was pretty lightweight too. Probably could have like a flying squirrel, kind of like spread out my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. I was usually wearing a polo shirt, but I could make it work. They inflate pretty easily. And I was just trying to think of solutions, because it's hard. What do you do? What do you fucking do? It's an unlearnable environment. We need to have... And so I was thinking, we do what you do when you need to teach kids something. We make it fun. So I propose Operation McCallisters got a brand new house. And we're going to show the kids 1 through 3 Okay, we're gonna say that's canon. We have the power to do that now. If you send me 4, if you send me 5, for the love of God, I will burn your house down. Do not send me Home Alone 4 or 5. You understand? I might have to cut that. I don't know. I'm not getting monetized. I don't send me Home Alone 4 or 5. Okay? We can give these kids the resources, okay? So imagine the kids don't even do PE, right? They're a bunch of fat asses anyways. They're a bunch of nerds. They want games to play. They want something fun to do. So I'm thinking we have a special class for this, right? So all of a sudden you're like, all right, kids, you're in the cafeteria. You have a bucket, a 2x4, and a rollerblade. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds until there's an active shooter in here. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We let them booby trap some shit up. We let them figure it out. Just you hand all this to an 8-year-old and you get them going. You know what I'm saying? You're like, all right, kids, there's a black male with what sounds like, and then you play some gunshots, and they're like 9mm. You're like, very good. That's what we practice for, class. There's a large white male with a 9mm, at least 6'2". What are you gonna do? It's like, get low. He can't look down. They're like, maybe you know what? If it's a tall shit, they get high. He can't look up. So then they start like climbing into those little like pop-up ceiling tiles to make the like building look empty. You know, we could have a bunch of stuff. So like at the front of every classroom, we'd have ornaments. Probably RC cars with small cameras on them, maybe. If they can afford a drone, they can get a drone, you understand? That's how much you love your kids, right? So if you love your kids, can they have a drone? I don't know. We could just get to the point where you could just have a drone on your kid. A drone could pick up a 5-year-old, right? Like an eagle can pick up a coyote, a drone could pick up a 5-year-old. So we should just give them drones to just take them home. But we'll get to that. But yeah, you get these guys some Hot Wheels, right? We're like, hey, bud, you got this. You're on the 3rd floor. You have paint bucket and strings duty. So we start doing drills. They start seeing how fast they can put them together. We can stop these tragedies, okay? We need these kids to be armed with ideas and toys, okay? I think Operation McCallisters Got a Brand New House will work, okay? We have it just like a fire drill. We're like, wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. And so then we're like, intruder alert, do all that shit. And so then all of a sudden, all the kids like go through, they start like throwing the RC cars, the ornaments out. They get the fire extinguishers, and they just like fog down the thing, so then they can shoot like little like paint like spitballs at them and shit. And once they know that it's only Home Alone 1 through 3, they won't have any of the bad like traps and shit. Like, this would be perfect. We could even get trap doors, but once again, how much do you love your children? Okay, the drones and the trap doors would just help. That's all I'm saying. When another fun fact, so my high school was hell. Okay, I'm gonna let you know that now. My high school was hell, and there was a bathroom stall that one day showed up with a date and time on it saying, "Nobody come to school on this day. I am going to shoot people." Very descriptive, almost like a haiku. And so this is scary. Some kids going, I don't want to come to school. This is an active threat to my health. You can't constitutionally make me come to school. So, in an attempt not to get sued, the school's like, listen, you don't have to come to school that day. Like, oh, really? Like, it'll count against you for finals incentive, but like, okay, fucking whatever. So, some kids got to skip that day. They didn't have to go. But in the meantime, no one got killed, by the way. No one got shot. They did start interrogating people. Now, the placement was interesting. Downstairs, very few people go there. Men's bathroom. So, some type of aggressive male. Now, when you look here, it's a place by the band rooms are close to it, but there's another one way closer. There's the daycare. and the kids never go out there. There's a lot of special ed classes. So, they start interrogating the autistic. The interrogation of the autistic, a very famous event where I come from. And they basically ran down the line of the guys. Like one kid very happily go luckily being like, they thought I was going to shoot the school. Haha, isn't that crazy? And we're like, uh-huh. And one kid was like, he's gonna kill us. Like one kid called him school shooter behind his back. Yeah, so that went on, and eventually I got come to find out it was a genius woman, right? That's what we get for charging them for tampons. You understand? They're talking about the pink tax and all this shit. Boom, now you're getting framed for a school shooting. That's fucked up. People have gotten to get really out of pocket recently. I saw a house. There's a video on Facebook, admittedly. Or somewhere else, maybe Reddit or something. Probably Reddit or whatever else. And it's these guys being like, we're selling our house. It is a Japanese garden-inspired home. It's a giant fucking koi pond. These fucking jack-offs got something that is literally the smallest part of a small home and blew it up 4,000 times. Fucking bamboo trees inside, fucking bonsai trees and shit inside. Trees that are fucking 100 years old or whatever bullshit, you know? It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? And like, yeah, we have a Japanese garden-inspired home. You know what my home is inspired by? Shelter and survival. The fuck? A Japanese garden? I didn't see any fucking green onions in there, bitch. You got chives? You got chives? No. Not a fucking... You got a bonsai tree. You got the tortoise of trees. The tree that could go for 200 years without being watered. So you can neglect it while you die. We're selling our $29 million Japanese garden-inspired home. Shut up. Jack off, you fucking dick. You know? So, it's funny though to see that, and then like also alongside, there's been this thing doing the rounds on Facebook. It's the Elwood organic dog meat, and it's basically they're talking about selling different breeds of dog. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, how much do they charge for this shit? So you start going through, and they got like different ones they're calling it, but like the names of them aren't believable. They gamify it a little too much. They make it where they're like poking fun at being like, look how heartless we are. And I'm like, Chihuahua chops or whatever don't sound very good, you know? They had a pretty good one. They had some pretty good ones. I can't remember them right now. But basically they go through and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Is eating dogs weird? Oh, is it? Well, I'll have you know that it's no weirder than eating a lamb than eating a cow. Did you know? And it's like, cows are social and complex creatures. You know the social and complex creature? Me. And I'm starving. You fucking serious? You know who's this? Fuck that. Fuck it. Fuck me. Fuck whatever I have going on, right? Let's say I'm perfect. Are drugs not a big deal? Do you not know an addict or have one living around you? Is there not enough people problems for you? You got them all figured out, and now you have to solve the problems of cows? Oh, God. Oh, God. You drive by, these fucking LA influencers drive by fucking dope fiends on the fucking side of the road on the way to their homes, and they fucking go and they're like, well, don't eat sheep. Please. They're like, it's within economic grasp to eat just vegetables and fruits and be vegan. It's like, for who, bitch? For who? Shit's expensive as fuck. If you don't want to be eating garbage and shit grown with fucking Miracle Grow with no regard for your health. Like, do you know how hard it is to eat vegan? Vegan? And then you want me to what? You want me to throw a fucking fit when pizza sauce has cheese in it? You want me to fucking freak the fuck out when somebody cracked half an egg in my fucking noodles? Gives a shit. I'm starting to solve real... I'm so fucking depressed. What the fuck are you talking... Look at this man. Look at him. Eat less meat? This man's eating $2 pork, bitch. $2 pound pork. Alright? I'll tell you what. Get subsidiaries for vegetables. So I don't have to pay out the fucking cock for them. Alright? Some of them aren't that bad, but some of them are. Just weird that people are like, well, you know what we need to work on? Animal rights. Animal rights don't have enough on their spot. Let's figure out people first, huh? We're destroying the world. Let's figure that out. Logan, I'm going to make a cheeky website about dog meat and just show those little boys exactly what it is they're eating, Oh, you like being a carnivore, What about a cocker spaniel in your mouth, How about my cocker spaniel in your mouth? How about that? Goofies. Listen, I haven't eaten dog yet in my life, right? But if I had 2 times, if I had 2 times in my life and could remember, had eaten dog, I wouldn't stop now. In the same sense, I'm not going to start. But if, by God, I found out that somebody goes, by the way, that chili I made, I actually cooked it with dog. And I can remember, and it was good. I see no problem with just eating a dog or 2. Oops, right? You know? What's wrong with me? I have mental health problems, and we should be solving those. That's what's wrong with me. But we won't. We'll just throw people into padded rooms and say we tried our best, even though we didn't. Even though we outlawed fucking LSD and psilocybin research in the 70s, and that was helping us find drugs like Xanax and all these SSRIs, and if we would have kept going, we would have had so much by now. We would have been in the fucking space age of our brain, and we're fucking not, because people don't care enough to let us study fun stuff. You gotta be miserable, you know? Also, if you can't eat a cow because it's social and complex, can I eat like the violent and autistic? Right? Like if they're violent and not complex, so they're violent and simple, let's say. Can I eat them? Not tackling that one? Or can I eat them? I'm all in, bitch. What you got? Can I eat them or not? He looks delicious. Okay, he's shaped like Bobby Hill. No, I'm just but also, it is very funny that like minorities are like actively every day begging for rights, like crying out for somebody to give them an equal opportunity and chance. And people are like, you know the problem? I drive by the countryside and I see a little sheep look at me and I feel bad. And I think, this can't keep happening. So, during any amount of protest, I've just been making this about PETA. Like, I don't think that helps anyone. I don't think that helps anyone. But whatever, bud. It's kind of similar. There's a fun little jokey thing that somebody sent. It's like a thing on Facebook that's like a review for a zoo. And it's this mom, and she's like, my kids are always... They love the zoo. But every time we come... the elephants are way too horny and aroused, and I wish my kids didn't have to see a giant elephant boner. Can we figure that out? Can somebody relieve the elephant so my kids aren't staring and I have to talk about what a boner is every time I see him? And it's like, ma'am, are you asking me to jerk off the elephants? Excuse me, sir. Sir, the kangaroo are way too jumpy. The kangaroo are almost going over the barricade. I saw one hump a gopher hole that they're 69ing each other. It's disgusting. It's like, well, ma'am, I can't jerk off a kangaroo. You don't know when their legs shake. It's dangerous to your well-being. Like, no, I think you need to go in there and 69 a kangaroo or two, sir. I think I know what I'm talking about. I've done plenty of jobs, and you obviously don't know how to do yours. And it's like, okay, ma'am. And then it's just like, and also one other thing. I don't know what you have to do, but do whatever you need to, because the orangutans only try to fuck the kids, and we might just have to get rid of that. I hope they're endangered. Honestly, I'm walking out and I think, I hope that's the last two that I ever see. I hope that's the last two in the whole world. Okay? But somebody needs to go off and suck those orangutans' dicks. Okay? Now, I'm going to come back here next week. And probably the week after that. And if no one's fucked this orangutan, if no one's 69 this kangaroo, and if no one's jerked off this elephant, I'm going to leave an even worse review. Is that what you want? And he's like, no, ma'am, no. She's like, okay, so put on some lipstick and get out there. And she slaps him on the ass. But it's just, why are we focusing on, like, I get it. Animal rights is a thing that needs to probably be discussed, but let's get legislation for people to be protected, you know? It's a very weird hill to die on. It just seems like a distraction from what actually matters, in my opinion. But I know some people don't feel that way. Either way, be an expert. Be good at something. Find something to find something that you have truths in, that you can look at and go, I know most of these truths. I'm probably wrong about some stuff, and I can even look at that stuff and be like, that's what I'm maybe wrong about. But everything else, I have my truths. You know? Look for something, dummies. I appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I kind of threw this together. I've been working more on the script, trying to make it funnier, trying to make it more fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here, dummies.